Imagine this. The greatest empire the world had ever seen collapses. Its capital is looted. Its last emperor is removed from power. The Western Roman Empire is gone forever. But 1,000 miles to the east, something extraordinary happens. It doesn't even stumble. It survives. Not for 300, for 1,000 years. This is the story of the Byzantine Empire and the real reasons it refused to die. As people think of the fall of Rome, they picture the year 476, barbarians, chaos, or the end of civilization. But in the city of Constantinople, life continued. The empire still called itself Roman. Its people still called themselves Romans. And for the next 1,000 years, it faced invaders that would have destroyed almost any nation. It faced invaders that would have location. Constantinople wasn't just a capital. It was a fortress designed by paranoia and genius. Built on a peninsula and protected by the most advanced walls, the Theodosian Walls. These walls were never conquered by force for nearly 1,000 years. Armies came, armies failed. And when enemies attacked from the sea, the Byzantines had a weapon so terrifying. Its formula was kept secret for centuries. They called it Greek fire, a liquid flame that burned on water. Imagine watching your fleet turn into floating funeral pyres, while the defenders just watched. But walls and fire alone don't explain 1,000 years. The real genius was political. While Western Europe collapsed into chaos, Constantinople ran a sophisticated government. A professional bureaucracy, a trained civil service, tax systems that actually worked. And when they couldn't win a war, they bought their enemies. They married their enemies. And when they couldn't win a war, their enemies against each other. Original masters of the enemy of my enemy is my friend. For centuries, the Byzantine Empire survived not just by fighting, but by outsmarting everyone. There's another reason people often ignore. The Byzantines were rich. Constantinople controlled key trade routes between Europe and Asia: silk, spices, gold. While much of Western Europe struggled economically, Constantinople minted the gold solidus, a trusted currency that fueled international trade for centuries. They used that wealth to pay elite armies, build defenses, and bribe dangerous neighbors. Money bought time, and time is what the empire needed most. But perhaps the deepest reason is this. The Byzantines never stopped believing they were Rome. Even as the language shifted from Latin to Greek, even as the culture changed, even as the borders shrank, they kept the idea of the Roman Empire alive. They adapted, they reformed, they survived civil wars, plagues, and religious crises. When the empire was on the edge of collapse in the 7th century, it reinvented itself. It became smaller, tougher, more focused, and kept going. In the end, the empire fell, like most great powers, not in one moment, but after centuries of pressure. In 1453, the walls finally met an enemy they could not stop: Ottoman cannons. The last Roman emperor died fighting on the walls, walls that had protected his people for 1,000 years. But here's the part most people miss. The Byzantine Empire didn't just survive Rome's fall. It became the bridge that carried Roman law, Greek learning, and Christianity into the modern world. Without it, the Renaissance and modern Western civilization might have looked very different. Rome fell in 476, but the dream of a civilized, ordered state lived on for another 1,000 years. The real question isn't why it lasted so long, but the real question is, what empires are we underestimating now? If you want to understand how civilizations survive collapse, you need to understand the Byzantines. Like the video if you learned something new. Subscribe if you want more stories about the empires that refused to die.